This show's pretty rockin', huh?
Yeah, I'm so glad my State Farm agent helped me go.
Huh?
My State Farm agent. They help me with options to personalize my auto insurance to get a great rate that fits my budget, so I don't have to give up the things I love.
Wow. Hey, so do you think I could get your State Farm agent's number?
Call your local State Farm agent, Vinny Krekak, at 402-474-1173.
Individual premiums and budgets will vary by customer. All applicants subject to State Farm underwriting requirements.
Vershawn Jackson for Brant Excavating. Brant's been in business for 29 years, and they specialize in a variety of things. If you're looking for someone to get the job done in precision demolition, excavating, trucking, mass grading, and site prep, Brant is the place to call. To set up a quote or learn more, call Brant Excavating at 402-474-4113 or go to BrantExcavating.com. They're also hiring, so join the team today. Brant Excavating, a part of the Bauer brand, who reminds you, go big Brant.
This message is for Karina, our mom who finished her high school diploma at age 28. Hi, Mom. It's Emmettith and Nicholas. Congratulations on getting your diploma. You worked so hard and have taught us so much. We love you.
When you graduate, they graduate. Finish your high school diploma for you and for them. Visit finishyourdiploma.org to find free and supportive adult education centers near you. Brought to you by the Dollar General Literacy Foundation and the Ad Council.
Welcome in to Tanner's Postgame Show. Live from Tanner's Bar and Grill at 30th and Yankee Hill.
Set up a screen and a lot of running room for the running back, Ramir Johnson, untouched along the sideline.
Here's Yan, the former walk-on, makes a move on Bergen. Here comes Yan across midfield. Chuckwes Yan inside the 20.
Off the play fake. The wheel route. Johnson, to whom they faked it. Touchdown, Nebraska.
Brought to you by Bauer Infrastructure on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Good afternoon. Vershawn Jackson, Jake Sorensen live at Tanner's for the second post-game show. Thanks for tuning in all day long. 402-464-5685. Call or text as always. Watch and comment on Facebook, Twitch, YouTube, and Twitter. This show is sponsored by Bauer Infrastructure, who's paving the way to progress and is hiring heavy equipment, truck mechanics, Class A CDL drivers, carpenters, laborers, equipment operators, and a crew foreman. And they have incredible benefits. Apply today at BauerInfrastructure.com. Nebraska falls to Minnesota 20-13. It was a 10-0 halftime lead for Sean. Nebraska takes the ball to begin the game, goes down the field. It's beautiful. 9 plays, 75 yards. Anthony Grant was awesome. Chubba Purdy caps it off with a short touchdown run. They get a field goal the next drive, and after that, crickets. 10-0 halftime lead. Gophers replace Tanner Morgan at halftime because he gets injured on a sack by Ty Robinson to end the first half. Allegedly injured. And the rest was history.
That was a game time situation.
Yep.
Where they knew they had to get a different flavor. If this didn't work, then they had to go with this. And that what they went with the second option was the best option against Nebraska football, because we don't do well with staying in our lanes, and the running quarterback always seems to be able to beat us.
Well, that quarterback in the second half, I mean, just look at the stats. So Tanner Morgan leaves at halftime. He was 6 for 8 for 38 yards, sacked 3 times, was inept. Wasn't doing. I mean, the offense was lost with Tanner Morgan. He gets hurt at halftime. Here comes Ethan Kalikmanis. That's pretty good pronunciation, wasn't it?
Yeah.
6 for 12, so not a great efficiency, but he hit some long hitters along a 45. He hit to Daniel Jackson. He hit Dylan Wright for a 38-yarder also. And the offense just started to believe in Minnesota. And I saw some disturbing things in postgame, VJ, from some Husker players about the game. And I saw Caleb Tanner, a captain on defense, said that Minnesota wanted it more than they did, which, again, that's disturbing to me. A team for Nebraska that's trying to get to a bowl game, trying to fight for their interim head coach to prove that, he should certainly be, if not a candidate, the leading candidate to be the next coach here at Nebraska. I don't know. That kind of quote bothers me, but in general, the second half wasn't good enough. 20 straight points for the Gophers. Huskers do get a field goal to make it a 7-point game, but end up falling short on a drop fourth down pass by Trey Palmer. Game over. But it's the same old story. Close game.
Yep.
Not enough. We've seen this story way too long. It's just frustrating.
No, we got our coach in the second half. Offensively, we got our coach. I mean, simple as that. We didn't have the plays that we should have ran. Whatever we did on the first 2 drives, I would like it if we would have done it on the entire game, because we looked at that. We looked at the stats, and I go back to those stats real quick for me, Jake.
Got it.
Here's when I knew the game had changed. Kansas is beating Oklahoma
KU
State.
on top of OSU 17-7 in Lawrence, trying to get bowl eligible today.
They'll trick it off. Okay, so go all the way down. We were talking about drives. Here's what, to me, was the turning point of the game.
Yep.
You're up
10-0.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
And thank you a lot. We're at Tanner's, by the way.
Yep, Tanner's 30th and Yankee Hill. Postgame show. VJ and Jake.
Yep. Okay, so you're up 10-0. It's where are we at? Second?
Second quarter, Nebraska gets the ball out after a punt on the Gopher 48-yard line.
Stop
with
right there.
8:17 to go.
Right there. You got nothing.
Nothing. You went backwards. They went backwards a yard.
You got nothing. And when I looked at that and I said, well, wait a minute. What changed? What perspective changed? Did we see bootlegs? I was listening to the radio call as well, and they were talking about having 2 tight end sets. I didn't see very many of them in the second half. Did you?
No. Look at the draw. I mean, VJ, at one point they had 5 straight 3-and-outs.
I mean,
I'm saying 6 straight 3-and-outs, actually. 6 straight.
Okay, so let's just go over this drive summary, okay? So the first one, we scored a touchdown, 9 plays, 75 yards.
Perfect. Beautiful.
Perfect.
Awesome.
Next one, 11 plays, 50 yards, field goal.
Take it.
Okay?
Fine.
Next time we had the ball for 6 plays, went 19 yards.
Okay, got a first down at least, but had a punt.
Here's where it went downhill, 3 for -1.
That's when they got the ball at the 48-yard line, Minnesota.
Yep, 3 for 3, 3 for 4. These are yards.
This is second half here. Second half. Okay. Start of the second half following a Minnesota touchdown, or field goal, excuse me.
3 for 20, 3 for 3, 3 for -5. And then the last 2 drives of the game, we went 12 for 67, got a field goal, and then 7 for 35.
Yeah. It was inept. I mean, and we talk about this offense without Casey Thompson, who the question was before the game, is Casey going to play? It appeared not. They kept saying throughout the week, game time decision. I think people thought he probably wouldn't play. He did not play.
No.
And so that's why you saw all through practices of the week, it was Chuba Purdy and Logan Smothers splitting the reps per Mark Whipple and Mickey Joseph. That was how the offense was designed in practice. And you didn't really – you saw Logan Smothers get 1 drive, and then they put Chuba Purdy back in. That was like that early. I think that was late first half, early second half. And then they let Logan cook again, and that's when you see the last 2 drives, 12 plays, 67 yards, a field goal, and then 7 for 35, which was a dropped pass on 4th down away from potentially driving in for a tying touchdown.
Look at time of possession.
Yeah.
Besides that 4-minute drive in the second half, 1 minute 12, 52 seconds, 56 seconds. You know what that tells me? We're throwing the ball all over the yard. I can just look at these numbers and tell you we're throwing it. 1:20, throwing it. 1:13, throwing it. We might have made 1 run in there. 1:26, 1:44, we're throwing it. 3 minutes and 18. Now I go back to the first quarter.
Yep.
4 minutes and 14. First drive, 4:31. Second drive, 3:18. Third drive.
Well, I mean, if you look at Anthony Grant's numbers, I mean, VJ, I said this during the game. The first 2 drives, the offensive line looked like really good. I mean, the first drive, they had no issues. They were pushing Minnesota around. They were sealing when they had to. They opened up holes. I mean, Anthony Grant on that first drive had 60 yards. I believe he had 80 at the end of the second drive. The rest of the game, he has 35 rushing yards.
That's what I'm saying.
And they were moving the ball with ease on the ground.
Well, if he had 21 carries total, I would be curious. Southern text line is open. I'd be curious to know how many carries he had in the first half, because that'll tell us what we did in the second half. It'll give us more of an accurate view of, did we make a decision to run the ball, or did we say, hey, let's try to throw it all over the yard with the backup quarterback?
I just thought and it's pretty obvious when you have 5 straight 3-and-outs. They got sloppy. They just got lackadaisical, and you cannot, against a top 10 defense in the country, ever afford to get lackadaisical. I mean, they had purpose, they had intent in the first quarter.
Yeah.
And that's why we saw those 2 drives that resulted in points. They moved the ball well. Chuba looked confident. And then things got off schedule. They went away from the game plan. And think about this. We heard them this week in practice after, in press conference saying, we got to run the ball more this week. And they did in the first quarter, and it worked. Why the hell would you go away from that?
I don't know.
If it was
Who
working?
made that decision?
Who made that?
who made a decision to say, hey, the run's not working anymore. Let's go to the pass because it's a better situation. It doesn't matter where we're at. It's a better situation to throw the ball all over the yard with the backup quarterback.
Yeah.
Oh, great plan. The plan should have been to continue what we did in the first quarter, all 4 quarters, and we would have came away with the game won probably 40-0.
Well, I don't know about that.
Nah. If you put the gas on somebody, had we scored the 7, remember when we talked about earlier, had we scored 7 points when we got the ball at their 48-yard line, I think that puts them away, and I think they go away fast.
Well, I mean, it certainly makes it easier. I mean, you're up 17-0 if that's the case. And their offense at that point had showed no signs of life. I mean, you saw a couple runs by Ibrahim in the first half, but nothing. I mean, I pointed out the first half, Morgan was 6 for 8 for 38 yards and 3 sacks. He was useless. He wasn't taking shots downfield. He was throwing a bunch of short, quick hitters. Nebraska was on top of him. And the run game was ineffective. I mean, Nebraska's defense came to play. Yeah. And then, again, the backup goes in. He takes a couple deep shots. They complete them. You spread Nebraska's defense out more. Because of that, here's some holes for Ibrahim, and boom, the rest is history. 20 straight points. Nebraska does not respond until too late. Game over. 3-6 the record. 2-4 conference
when
play.
that quarterback who came into the game just as dry as dry can be, what do you do against a guy like that? You blitz him.
Yeah, and they did. They got home on him one time.
No, I don't. Did they?
Well, they
hit him.
Yeah, they hit him.
Didn't sack him. I'm simply saying.
Right.
Thank you.
You're right. You're right. There was no sacks. They did hit him at one point.
Can I get ranch in Italian? Yes, ma'am.
They did hit him.
Sorry.
They hit him at one point. And the ball got tipped, and so it was incomplete. And they didn't. They kicked the field goal, I believe, that drive.
But my point is, when you understand what works against the team, why go away from it? Why not take the gas pedal and go 100 miles an hour? And guess what? You're going downhill 100 miles an hour, no brakes. Just go, baby. And we didn't do that. We allowed a football team to come back in the second half on us and have their way with us, and they play bully ball. 13 straight runs? Huh? Yeah. You mean to tell me that you don't sock somebody in the mouth when they're running 3? They told you, I'm going to run it right there, sir. We'll be right back next play, the same spot.
We're going to do the same thing. Okay, so you asked the question, and we got an answer from the text line. So Anthony Grant had 21 carries. He had 14 in the first half. 7 carries in the second half. You wonder why they had 5 straight 3-and-outs. They went away from what was working. He ran the ball well last week. He had 5 yards of carry, and they just didn't give the ball to him.
Hey, their best running back had how many carries? Ibrahim had how many carries? 32?
32 carries for 128. Again, not a great game for him. 17 straight games over 100 yards, and you know what that means? They've been winning more than they've been losing at Minnesota.
They gave him the ball.
They in general had 45 rushes, 20 passes.
Somebody asked me, I think Friday, how many rushes did I think we needed to be able to win the game?
What'd you
said
say?
30 by the backs.
Yep.
How many did we have?
By the backs, they had 25.
Thank you. Not enough. Not going to get it done.
But again, they 14. Anthony Grant's first half carries were all very effective. How can you convince me when you're up by 10 going to halftime? Even when they drive down for a field goal, okay, you're up by 7 still.
Yeah.
How do you go that far away from a game plan that was working, especially when your quarterback is seeing ghosts out there? When your quarterback is ineffective. Chubba Purdy was ineffective today.
Somebody's got to whip that in the press conference.
6 for 16 for 41 yards, a pick, and 2 sacks for Chubba Purdy. That's not going to get it done in Division I football.
Well, Logan Smothers 5 for 10 for 80. I'll take that.
Exactly, yeah, 88 because he was taking some shots.
No picks.
The longest pass play for Chubba today was 10-yard completion.
Does Logan Smothers get the start next week?
He better if Casey can't play. If Casey can play, he's the starter. But I'm telling you what, if Casey gets hurt, I don't know how you can convince this fan base that they're trying to win football games if Chubba Purdy is number 2 quarterback. I'm not trying to be hard on the kid that much. I'm saying this football, Division I football and sports in general, you're going to get criticized. You are an elite athlete. All these players were very, very good high school players. They're elite athletes in their age range. You got to take criticism. And Chubba Purdy has simply put not been good enough. He's not good enough right now to win you football games.
No, he's not ready. Not to run the football offense.
No.
The football offense won't work. Purdy's not ready to do all the things that it takes to do in that offense right now. and you can't put them in that position to put them in that. It's just a bad position to be in as a quarterback. I think if you make a decision to run the ball more, you get them in the first half, first quarter, and then we just gradually taped off there. So I don't know. I think you almost have to go with Logan. You have to give him an opportunity. You got to put a run package in with him as well. You cannot just have Logan drop back throwing balls.
Text line asks this, and again, it's a fair question when it comes to who. Again, we don't know exactly what Mickey's thoughts are through the week and what his thoughts are in practice. Now, Mickey did say post game he thought they should have gone to Smothers earlier than what they did. He did say that. Texter says, "Is Mickey Joseph the head coach or is Mark Whipple?" Because it feels like last week the rumors you're hearing is that at halftime Mark Whipple wanted Chubba Purdy to be the quarterback in the second half, whereas Smothers got one series after Casey got hurt. And
did Mickey Joseph hire Whipple?
He did not.
Okay, well, there you go. You got your answer.
Who's the head coach right now? Who's the interim coach?
I don't know who the head coach is. Look like Mark Whipple to me because
who's labeled the interim head coach?
Yeah, I mean, we know who that is, but my point is if Mickey can't tell Whipple to get back to running the ball and getting back to those same plays, then who is the head coach? What are we really doing? You know what I mean? At the end of the day, it's going to be on Mickey anyway, right?
That's right.
It's going to be on him anyway. So if a guy you feel like that's 60-something, 70 years old, he's been a head coach all over the place, he's been a position coach, a coordinator, do you think he's going to listen to me? Stop it. You give Nick a little bit of juice. You give him a little bit of juice, even though I'm 47, he's 21.
Right.
Once he feels like he knows more than you, he ain't listening anymore.
Nope.
Not that Nick would do that. I'm just saying, just to provide an example, is sometimes some coaches will do what they want to do regardless.
And you know, I tell you what, on that note, VJ, you go back to a quote we heard before the season. Now Mark Whipple came from a very effective season. Pittsburgh won the ACC last year.
Mm-hmm.
Kenny Pickett was a Heisman Trophy candidate, first-round pick, and they had a good season. Now, Mark, on a podcast before the season, Pat Narduzzi was going off on Mark Whipple, saying there's a guy that was here last year that preferred to pass the football and not run.
Yeah.
And now someone says Narduzzi was right about Whipple's stubbornness. I mean, in a way, it feels like that's kind of where we're at, isn't it?
I watched it on the sideline. That's what it looked like to me. It looked like a stubborn old dude. You know what I'm saying? It's like my grandpa. He likes his cranberry juice hot in the wintertime.
Is that right?
Yeah.
That sounds weird to me.
It did to me too, but if he tells you to go in there and heat him up some cranberry juice, you better not come back with the cold cranberry juice. We're going to have a problem. Doesn't matter. So those old dudes get set in their ways, and it's kind of tough for them to get outside their ways. And that's kind of what I looked at. I looked at a coach who might have been told to be, or if it was scripted the first two plays, I don't know. But they did well. And then I saw a coach get back into his own playbook that doesn't work at Nebraska. It's not going to work in the Big Ten. And then we got Big Ten bully ball.
I mean, again, the question becomes, can Mark Whipple properly call an offense without his number one quarterback? I mean, Casey Thompson can operate the Whipple offense because he can take shots. He's willing to take shots on the deep ball.
Whipple bring Purdy in?
I thought he did, and that's probably why they've been playing Purdy.
Well, Purdy's not ready.
Well, if Purdy's a Whipple guy, that makes sense why they're playing him over Smothers, who was here last season. But listen, if you're a non-biased fan and you're watching Nebraska's quarterbacks play, and you watched Chubba Purdy play, and you watched Logan Smothers play, I don't think there's anybody out there who can tell you that Purdy looks like he's a better quarterback than Smothers.
No, listen, we got to remember Smothers, the Iowa game.
Right, and
he balled out.
He did, and he played well today. I didn't think he was bad today.
We put Smothers in a bad position in that Iowa game.
Yes.
At the end of the game, trying to have him be a drop-back quarterback. He's a run-first guy.
And he can pass, but he's a run-first quarterback.
He can definitely pass, and I think
today's game, he didn't run. We only had 4 carries for 4 yards, so it wasn't a huge factor. Along of 5, had a couple losses there. But they understood. I mean, Minnesota understood when Smothers is in, watch out for the run. He can run. I mean, Chubba actually did have a couple good rounds to give him a compliment. He looked okay in a few runs. But again, overall quarterback play, Logan Smothers, despite only being 5 for 10, was significantly better than Chubba Purdy. And if he had more time and more series in that game, it may have been a different result, but ifs and buts are what kill you.
I mean, if you're going off of what Chuba did when he got in the game, you would have thought, you know what I mean? But maybe he had a good week of practice, and they thought maybe he'd give him the best chance to win. And listen, at the beginning of the game, to me, it looked like he did give us the best chance to win. I thought we were going to run away with it, but I got to thinking, there's 4 quarters to a game in 2 halves. I better wait to reserve judgment. Oh, but again, at the end of the second quarter, when we didn't go up 17, we didn't go up 13, I knew there was a problem somewhere, and there was a kink in the armor.
Once again, we are live at Tanner's, 30th and Yankee Hill. Stop on by. We'll be here till 5:30. Today's special to Tanner's is an eggy sandwich and a side for $9.99. $4 aluminums, $4.50 Bloody Marys. Come on by. They are open late tonight, so watch all the games. By the way, at halftime, BJ DeSala, Georgia, between the hedges, up 24-6 on number one ranked Tennessee.
Can you believe that Terrell Farley went against Georgia?
He did? He picked against them?
He picked Tennessee.
Oh.
I couldn't believe it. Then I was like,
is that why he's not here? He's
feelings
embarrassed.
are hurt.
He's embarrassed right now?
Because he knows that that was a good football team. Georgia's the best football team. He said it at the beginning. Anytime you wear a big G shirt, you know that you go with your team and you bet against them.
I suppose so.
Not a good look.
No. Bulldogs are getting up 24-6 at halftime on Tennessee, number 3, on top of number 1 in Athens, Georgia. We will take a quick break. Again, you guys can call or text 402-464-5685. We want to hear from you guys. Chime in on Facebook, Twitch, YouTube, Twitter. You can watch and comment there. Or stop on by. We'll be here till 5:30 at Tanner's, 30th Yankee Hill. More next on the Ticket Postgame Show on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Mike Schaefer here for Trek CBD. It's football season, and that means you're tailgating with friends, or if you're like me, yelling at the TV during Vikings games. Trek CBD has a variety of products that help calm me down during the games, so I don't scare my dog. But in the rare cases that I yell too much, there's CBD products for him, too, and all other pets. Whether you're looking for drinkable Delta 8 seltzers, hemp-derived Delta 9 syrups for your beverages, or anything else, Trek CBD has it all at 84th and Anderson. Trek CBD done right.
Trendy or traditional, Gary Michaels Clothiers specializes in men's tailored clothing. Off the rack or custom made to measure, there is simply no better shopping experience. Offering designer furnishings, sportswear, shoes, outerwear, and accessories for a man always concerned at looking his best. With world-class tailoring and personal service, all makes Gary Michaels Clothiers Nebraska's premier store for men. Come visit us now at Village Gardens, south of 56th and Pine Lake Road in Lincoln.
This show's pretty rockin', huh?
Yeah, I'm so glad my State Farm agent helped me go.
Huh?
My State Farm agent. They help me with options to personalize my auto insurance to get a great rate that fits my budget, so I don't have to give up the things I love.
Wow. Hey, so do you think I could get your State Farm agent's number?
Call your local State Farm agent, Vinny Krekak, at 402-474-1173.
Individual premiums and budgets will vary by customer. All applicants subject to State Farm underwriting requirements.
Hey, who caught that ball? That field goal was good, right? Is the scoreboard fuzzy to anyone else?
Dude, you have got to get your eyes checked, man.
If you're noticing that the game is getting a little tougher to follow, it might be time for a checkup at Premier Vision. They have state-of-the-art equipment, a variety of frames, and great lens options. Visit Premier Vision today, just south of Van Dorn at 84th and Firethorn.
Fall has arrived, and it's the perfect weather for the DIY market to listen to the game while building a deck. Deck City is a great place to start as Lincoln's local source for everything decks. Deck City has everything you need to build the deck of your dreams, from treated lumber to Westbury aluminum railings and TimberTech composite decking. They offer advice from real deck professionals to give you proper guidance to make your project go smooth. Call them today to schedule an appointment at 402-480-6671 or go online at deckcityne.com.
Hi, Sean Callahan here for Koppel Chevrolet GMC, and things are rocking in Louisville. We've got transport showing up every day with loads of new inventory, lots of new trucks, SUVs, and crossovers. Our pre-owned inventory is also filling up fast. Our GMC Terrain inventory is really filling up fast, so we're putting special pricing on those right now. This is the time to check out our GMC Terrains, as we've got all models with a great selection of colors at a discounted price. So please stop in or check them out online at koppelcars.com. You'll be glad you did.
When you were a kid, Clubs were cool. Robotics club or space club and stuff like that. But what do adults get? Book clubs and quilting clubs? Nah, forget that. How about a margarita club? Get to Upside Bar and Lounge and join the best club in town. 10 flavors of margaritas like Maui Wowie, burnt pineapple, and mango tango. Try all 10 of them and receive your own souvenir margarita glass. Make it your new Monday night tradition. $4 margaritas and $4 taco baskets. Grab the crew and head on over Monday nights or any night. Upside Bar and Lounge at 29th and Pine Lake.
M Suits Clothiers, your Lincoln choice for men's clothing 5 years running. Did you know M Suits Clothiers has one of the largest selections of fashion-forward yet sophisticated menswear? Suits, jeans, dress pants, long-sleeve shirts, short-sleeve shirts, and bamboo athletic wear. They are clean and simple styling with options to be worn for work or for play. Visit their store to find your perfect fit. M Suits Clothiers, located at 5525 Red Rock Lane, 1 block south of 56th and Pine Lake Road. And tell your friends about them. Another packed fall sports season means it's time to get to N Street Drive-In to fill up on all your beverage needs. For November, they have tons of fall seasonals, and you can check out their Oscar Blues, Nebraska Brewing Company, and Broken Bat Brewing Company selections as their beers of the month. Also, make sure to download the new N Street Drive-In app to order online and to set up delivery right to your front door. And don't forget their top-notch crowler fill system. N Street Drive-In, your one-stop beverage stop at 1801 O Street.
Reward yourself with Kasasa Free Checking. Liberty First Credit Union invites you to open a free Kasasa checking account and earn up to 3% APY for up to $30,000. Get paid for banking. What are you waiting for? Earning a high reward rate is easy, and Kasasa checking is always free. Liberty First Credit Union offers free online banking and bill pay, free e-statements, free mobile banking, and so much more. See libertyfirstcu.com for details. Federally insured by NCUA. Liberty First Credit Union, banking with purpose.
This message is for Shauna, my mom who just finished her high school diploma. I wanted to say I'm so proud of you for finishing school. You told me it's never too late to achieve your dreams. I hope to make you as proud as you have made me.
When you graduate, they graduate. Finish your high school diploma for you and for them. Visit finishyourdiploma.org to find free and supportive adult education centers near you. Brought to you by the Dollar General Literacy Foundation and the Ad Council.
Now back to Tanner's Postgame Show. Brought to you by Bauer Infrastructure on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
We are back. Ticket Postgame Show at Tanner's, 30th and Yankee Hill. Rashawn Jackson, Jake Sorensen with you. Come on by. We'll be here for about an hour more.
Turn me down.
Turn you down.
Turn
mine down.
My
okay, all right.
You're loud in there.
All right.
Well,
loud talker, that's the way it is.
Yelling. Why are you yelling?
Oh, people got to hear me. 402-464-5685. Call or text. As always, watch and comment Facebook, Twitch, YouTube, and Twitter. This segment sponsored by Vinny Creekak and State Farm Insurance. Whether you need help with your auto, homeowners, or renters insurance, call Vinny Creekak today at 402-474-1173 to start the pain-free process today. We're not pain-free at Nebraska, are we?
No.
Not pain-free here.
It hurts so bad.
It does hurt. It hurts?
So bad.
I don't like to say I'm used to losing because I don't think you ever should want to say that. But, I mean, the pain is...
You're young enough that you might be used to losing around here. Us old farts ain't used to losing, sir.
I mean, you're right, but you guys have seen the same amount of losing as I have over the last 20 years, too. So, at some point, you somewhat get used to it. I'm not saying you should like it ever. I don't like it.
20 years of losing, 60 years of winning.
Well,
it's a big difference.
It is. It is a big
That's
difference.
why we still hold strong.
And you should. I'm glad you do. I'm glad you have the belief that this place can get good again and should be good again.
I don't know, but I just think, at the end of the day, at some point, if I don't know what Whipple's doing, but he needs to figure it out. And if he can't get the job done, man, it's obvious. Look at the numbers, man. Look at the game on TV. I mean, it's just obvious. The demeanor on the sideline, how we do things. These kids need to be inspired, man. They need an offensive coordinator that's going to inspire them to do more. And by doing that, you're making the right play calls. You're just not putting them in, throwing them in and blindly calling plays to be calling plays. If the doggone run works, stick with the run. Isn't that what an offensive coordinator does?
Yeah.
Aren't you supposed to score as offensive coordinator?
You should not go away from what's working if that's the question. Hey, this is working. Let's try something else, though. Oh, it didn't work. Shoot, let's keep trying what doesn't work because that's more fun. That's what I like to do is huck and chuck. with my backup quarterbacks.
You're in.
Yeah.
Listen, you're in. You're winning the game. You're winning. It'd be different if we were losing and we had to throw the ball with our backups like we did in the game last week.
Yeah.
Okay, that wasn't the case this week.
10-0 lead at halftime.
Hey, man, I'm feeling good about myself. Everybody is. But you know what? It was such an emotional roller coaster. I fell asleep in the third quarter.
Yeah, I don't blame you. On YouTube, I'm put this up. Eddie says, I hope that Mr. Whipple is not getting senile, but surely he should know to stick with the running game.
I'm just saying, it's evident to everybody in this, anybody that knows football. I've got aunties. I had a grandmother. A lot of people, a lot of ladies in my family understand football, right? They don't understand all the nuances of the game, but they understand football. You understand football, right? If the run is working, run the ball. What did I say? Run the damn ball.
RTDB.
Run the damn ball.
One of the favorite acronyms in the state of people that like to run the football.
Run the damn ball.
RTDB. Run the damn ball. And they did run the damn ball in the first quarter very effectively. And then they decided, again, as we pointed out last segment, Anthony Grant was over 100 yards a day. However, that was mostly in the first two series. He had 14 carries in the first half. He had 7 in the second half. Then Nebraska was not trailing the whole second half. They, in fact, were up 10-0 when the second half kickoff went off. And still, Minnesota had a field goal. They didn't score a touchdown. They had a field goal to begin the second half. And you still chose to stop running the football with the quarterback, as we pointed out, who ended up 6 for 16 passing, who hasn't looked very good passing at all this year through several games, several chances.
What happened to the jet sweep? Did we see a jet sweep?
I don't believe so.
Did Trey Palmer run a jet sweep? Yeah, he did. He had to. You had to get the ball into your hands of the best player out there on the field, right? Jet sweeps are so easy to run. Put 2 tight ends on the left and him come in motion, give him the jet sweep and let him go. But I didn't see a jet sweep. Did we see a tight end screen?
The thing is, you didn't see anything innovative. Nothing innovative at all.
So
innovative.
So then
same words.
you're either at a point where you've checked out mentally,
Yeah.
or you can't do the job that we hired you to do. Because like I said before, I'm not the best offensive coordinator in the book, but I know one thing: I can put plays together. And if the run is working, I'm going 42 counter trap, 48 pitch, 32 trap, 32 dive, 34 counter trap, quarterback keep right, quarterback keep left, screen right, double screen left. There's so many different bootleg right, bootleg left. There's so many different plays you can run instead of trying to throw the ball with a quarterback that has not proven that he can get it done in the game.
No, I'm with you there. I mean, but look at Minnesota. The team you were playing against was doing just that.
Yeah.
What you just said.
Yeah.
They had a plan saying, all right, we'll throw the ball a few times, but as I pointed out, they had 20 passes today and 45 runs. Muhammad Ibrahim had 32 carries in the ball game. The backup quarterback had 3 carries. Bryce Williams 1, Trey Potts 2, Tanner Morgan had a bunch of sacks there.
How many did we have total? How many did Minnesota or Nebraska have total rushing?
35 attempts.
Okay, and Ibrahim, how many?
32 by himself.
Ibrahim.
32 by himself.
Okay.
And they committed in the second half to saying, you're going to be our guy. Now, again, the backup quarterback, Callie Kmonix, comes in and hits a couple deep shots.
Text line's open, though.
It is. 402 464 5685.
Here's what I want to know.
Sauter Heyman text line.
Here's what I want to know. How many times did Ibrahim run the ball in the first half? I'm curious to know that.
Compared to the second half.
Yes, yeah. I guarantee you it flip-flopped.
Well, it was a lot more in the second half for sure.
Well,
I mean, they had more sustained drives in the second half. Look at the drive chart, if I can find that again.
You know what happens when you run the ball? You make the other team tired. They get tired. They start getting weak. They start weakening down. And before you know it, you those plays that were getting 4 and 5 yards, they start to get 30 and 40 yards. You know, when you start wearing teams down and they get tired, because we know when you get tired in football, if you got a team that understands tiredness, they put you in the dirt.
Well, VJ, look at this. You just pointed out. Okay, I'm looking at Minnesota's first half drives and second half drives. All right, their first half, First drive, 3 plays, -9 yards. Second drive, no points, but 10 plays, 30 yards, respectable. Next drive, 3 plays, -13 yards, punt. Next drive, 6 plays, 21 yards, punt.
Okay.
And then 2 plays, -3 yards, halftime. Jack crap. Didn't do anything. They come in, replace the quarterback, and then boom, 10 plays, 46 yards, 4 for 40. There's a punt there. 6 for 86, 9 for 47, 7 for 33, 5 for 22. Consistently getting first downs, extending drives.
I'm just saying, don't shoot the messenger. I'm just a numbers guy. I learned that over my career with being with Coach Osborne. I learned to look at the numbers. People lie, right? The numbers don't lie. You can tell me you got $1 million in your bank account, but if I tell you, go bring me the receipt, Jake, and it says $100, you're lying, Jake. The numbers don't lie. And these numbers tell the story of the football game. How many turnovers did we get?
2.
We got 2 turnovers.
2 picks, I think.
Yeah, go back over there. Let's look at this thing real quick.
Let's confirm that.
And that was in the first half, right?
I want to confirm that. Nebraska had 1 interception in the ball game.
Okay, first half.
And so only 1 turnover today.
How many times did we turn the ball over?
Nebraska had the pick in the second half.
Mm-hmm.
That was in the fourth quarter, early fourth quarter when that pick happened. It was a terrible throw down the sideline, was never open, fluttered up there. Minnesota picks it off, and they get it, in Nebraska territory.
Why didn't he just run the ball?
I don't know.
He had 20 yards of pay dirt.
Well, you know what? And then they replaced him. That was his last series, and Nebraska moved the ball after that. Again, the last 2 drives, Smothers comes in, 12 plays, 67 yards, field goal, 7 plays, 35 yards. And the drive ended on a drop by Trey Palmer when they're moving to try to tie the game.
Yeah, well, I had a picture of Smothers.
It's just stubbornness. Stubbornness by your offensive coordinator.
Period.
Stubbornness.
Period.
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 From the text line, 464-5685, Jay in Lincoln says, why are you all blaming Whip? Come on, VJ, team game here. If Mickey is the head coach, step in.
Well,
it's crazy how none of this is falling on the head coach for not making a call to run the ball. The game and your job was all riding on it. That's why we asked.
I agree with that.
With an interim tag, though. How much? Again, I don't know how much control does Mickey Joseph have.
Okay.
He did fire Eric Shenander. What's his control beyond that?
I don't know what that is. It doesn't seem like it's very much when it comes to Whipple, because I would imagine that Mickey knows to run the ball, because in the press conferences, he's been saying we got to find a way to run the ball. Now, as a game manager, I get it, but if someone is stubborn, you want them to be fighting on the sideline, you think that'd look good? 2 coaches over there. At some point, I do believe, though, Coach Joseph, it's his ship to lose, and he's going to have to do some serious telling Coach Whipple, hey, bro, we got to run the ball. We got to run the ball. But again, when you don't hire coaches that you trust or that you really know, is that hard to approach a person? I can approach you now, Jake, because I know you, right?
Yeah.
Back 6 months ago, I probably wouldn't have approached you and told you anything and talked to you about anything that means anything to me. So I'm just saying, I don't want to – I'm looking at the entire – we could have did some things differently on defense, right? Meaning get off of blocks and stop the run. We didn't do that when it counted. So there was, when you look at the grand scheme of things, it is the whole game. But I think what cost us was our inability not to score the ball after we went up 10-0. That was our problem. If we scored, regardless of them scoring or not, we still win the game because we're up 10-0.
I come back to this a little bit with regarding, again, this comes full circle with how much control does Mickey Joseph have? He was able to fire Eric Shenander a week after Scott Frost was fired, a week after Mickey Joseph took over. Is there something that is preventing some sort of change or some sort of narrative with Mark Whipple?
It got to be.
Because that's all I can tell you in terms of I can't believe that Mickey's 100% going on with what Whipple's calling here and personnel decisions.
It just has to be, if you ask me. And I think, somebody says this, that it comes down to your head coach. It comes down to him making the final call. Whip works under him, and I get it. But unless we know what the details of that situation is,
right?
You know what I mean? And if I'm Mickey, I'm just talking for me. Now, if I'm the head coach, I'm going down swinging. Whipple, you don't want to run it? Perfect, dog. Listen, over there, you can go up in the stands and either watch us or you can go home and watch the game on TV. But if you don't want to do what I'm asking you to do, it's time to go. And if I'm the interim coach, I'm going into Trev Alberts and saying, hey, this ain't working. Sir, it ain't working, sir. You see what's going on, sir, just like it wasn't working on defense, just like it wasn't working for Scott Frost. That's why we fired Scott Frost, right? Who fired him? Who fired him? Did Mickey fire Scott Frost?
Trev Alberts fired.
Thank you. So then if Trev Alberts fired Scott Frost, and then either Mickey's got the autonomy to do it or he doesn't.
It's a weird situation again. I mean, so Mark Whipple comes in from Pittsburgh. He's making $850,000 this year.
Who hired him?
I mean, you would think Scott Frost hired him.
Exactly.
Scott Frost is no longer the head coach in Nebraska.
Doesn't matter. If Mickey's the coach and he can't get Whipple to run the ball, again, I say it again, for the last 3 weeks, Mickey has been saying in his press conference how we need to make a better decision to run the ball. We need to run the ball. We need to run the ball. Well, I thought we had it fixed in the first quarter because we ran the ball. But do you know what happens in the course of a game when you're a coach? You get caught up in the emotions of everything going on. You're not really paying attention because you think you've got an offensive coordinator for that and a defensive coordinator for that. Defense have been playing lights out, given for what they have. Caleb Tanner showed up today. O'Shawn Mathis showed up today. There were some guys that showed up on defense that we hadn't seen all year. I love that part. But the fact that we will not run the damn ball is my biggest problem with this entire institution for the last 20 years.
Well, that's there's some things that just keep stacking up. In the good years they had, I mean, the respectable years with Bo, they ran the football well. They had Roy Halou.
Yep.
They had Rex Burkhead.
Yep.
They had Amir Abdullah, and they committed to running the football. They still passed it, but they ran the football, and they won 9 or 10 games every year. Now, they had their problems in big games.
Sure.
He had his issues with the media, but Bo Pelini won a lot more than he lost, and he ran the football effectively. He committed to the run, and it worked.
I'd imagine if you took a poll and asked the people, the fans, if they would rather have Bo Pelini, I guarantee you, if they could get Bo Pelini back, they would do it right in a heartbeat.
Well, Bo won a lot of games.
I don't think Bo would come back, though.
Bo would not come back.
The cupboards are bare now. You got to rebuild, buddy.
I'm sure Bo's laughing. I'm sure Bo's cackling, saying, you guys still don't get it. You still don't understand.
Right.
You don't understand.
You still don't feel it.
We're live at Tanner's. Again, this is the Ticket Postgame Show. Come on by. 30th and Yankee Hill. Our sponsors are Bauer Infrastructure, Vinnie Creek, State Farm Insurance, and American Senior Benefits. We'll have more next. You can always call and text 402-464-5685. Watch and comment Facebook, Twitch, YouTube, and Twitter. More next on 93.7 The Ticket.
Hey, it's Sean Callahan, and football season is here, and there is one place that has all the games, plus great food and beer specials. Tanner's Bar and Grill at 30th and Yankee Hill. Whether it's Thursday night football, college football Saturdays, NFL Sundays, or Monday night football, there's a great view of the game from any seat with different food and drink specials every night. Try the Blue Ribbon Reuben Sandwich or the Prime Rib French Dip or any of their famous chicken wings. That's Tanner's Bar and Grill at 30th and Yankee Hill.
Another packed fall sports season means it's time to get to N Street Drive-In to fill up on all your beverage needs. For November, they have tons of fall seasonals, and you can check out their Oscar Blues, Nebraska Brewing Company, and Broken Bat Brewing Company selections as their beers of the month. Also, make sure to download the new N Street Drive-In app to order online and to set up delivery right to your front door. And don't forget their top-notch crowler fill system. N Street Drive-In, your one-stop beverage stop at 1801 O Street.
There's nothing quite like the Mercado by Certified Piedmontese Beef. The Mercado offers unique ingredients you can't find anywhere else, open every day from 8 a.m. to 8 p.m. The full-service butcher shop and retail store is wonderful for meat lovers with their exclusive Certified Piedmontese Beef and assorted sausages, plus other quality meats, including pork, chicken, and a wide range of the freshest seafood. Plus, every Friday from 11 to 2, the Mercado serves up the best lunch in town on their Friday Feast menu. Stop in at the Mercado today at 84th and Havelock or visit their website at cpmercado.com to see current deals.
Hey, who caught that ball? That field goal was good, right? Is the scoreboard fuzzy to anyone else?
Dude, you have got to get your eyes checked, man. If you're noticing that the game is getting a little tougher to follow, it might be time for a checkup at Premier Vision. They have state-of-the-art equipment, a variety of frames, and great lens options. Visit Premier Vision today, just south of Van Dorn at 84th and Firethorn.
Does your business need quick, competitive financing for heavy machinery, trucks, or other equipment? Currency is here to help. Whether you're financing construction equipment, farm equipment, trucks, trailers, or any other big-ticket item, Currency will automatically find the best rates. Currency facilitates loans for up to $500,000 with repayment terms up to 72 months. It's fast, easy, and free to use. Visit gocurrency.com and apply today.
Wow. Did you ever save me money on my car?
Yes, that's why our customers keep coming back.
How do you do it, friendly car dealer ?
We simply have low overhead and high trade-in values. The next line's yours.
Oh.
Ready for something better? Mullen Motors is a no-hassle, no-pressure dealership with financing available. Check out the inventory at MikeMullenMotors.com.
No taglines, just quality vehicles. Mullen Motors.
Vershawn Jackson for Brandt Excavating. Brandt's been in business for 29 years, and they specialize in a variety of things. If you're looking for someone to get the job done in precision demolition, excavating, trucking, mass grading, and site prep, Brandt is the place to call. To set up a quote or learn more, call Brandt Excavating at 402-474-4113 or go to BrandtExcavating.com. They're also hiring, so join the team today. Brandt Excavating, a part of the Bauer brand, who reminds you, go big Brandt.
You finally finished your man cave in the basement. Brand new furniture, huge TV, and all of your collector's items. You're ready for football season. You were so excited until one bad rain and it is all ruined. Don't risk a flooded basement and countless dollars in damages when it can be avoided. Call John Henry's today for a free sump pump estimate for your home.
435-5555. John Henry's Plumbing. Heating and air.
Early break with Sip and Jake.
The division sucks. The Big Ten West sucks right now. And the fact that you should have a chance to win this thing.
You should be in there.
Next year is the final year of the Big Ten West.
Yeah, it's not.
And I can't see right now projecting the next year one team having an epic rise. It looks like it's going to be very similar to this year of a hodgepodge.
I have a hard time saying that it sucks.
It's not very good.
Early break with Sip and Jake from 6 to 8 every weekday morning on 93.7 The Ticket.
This is Todd Riley with American Senior Benefits. If you qualify for Medicare, then you're probably getting bombarded with information right now about different options during the annual election period. It can all be incredibly overwhelming. We're here to help. The experts at American Senior Benefits can help you navigate all of your options and make the best decision for you. You can reach out via our Facebook page, American Senior Benefits Lincoln, or call me directly at 402-413-9510. Let us help you make an informed decision at American Senior Benefits.
When you're high, you feel different. You think different, you talk different, you draw different, you listen to music different, but you probably knew that. Problem is, you also drive different, and not in a good way. That's why driving high is illegal everywhere. So if you're high, just don't drive. Make a plan to get a sober ride. Because if you feel different, you drive different. Brought to you by NHTSA and the Ad Council.
This is Lincoln's home for sports talk on the FM dial. Also online at theticketfm.com. On the internet. KNTK FM Firth, 93.7 The Ticket. Now back to Tanner's Postgame Show. Brought to you by Bauer Infrastructure. On 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
All right, we are back. Tanner's 30th and Yankee Hill postgame show. We got about 40 minutes more to go. Come on by. Eggy sandwich is the special today with the side $9.99. Also $4 aluminums, $4.50 Bloody Marys. It's a packed house. We're watching Georgia, Tennessee. The Bulldogs on top between the hedges, 24-6 early third quarter. I saw a little upset alert at halftime. It might have changed now, but Michigan State was up 9-7 on the road at Illinois.
Is that an upset?
Yeah, Illini are ranked 17th. They were a 16-point favorite per Vegas.
I didn't think they would be that good.
Well,
Illinois wasn't that good. We should have beat Illinois.
We should at least been a little closer.
I'm sorry. We should have beat Illinois.
Thank you. Good job. Proud of you.
I'm learning.
Some other scores. How about this?
Imagine if I wasn't learning.
We saw
kept saying Illinois.
Oklahoma State needs to get the heck out of the state of Kansas because it has been a bad go from here. So last week, Oklahoma State, coming in as a top 10 team, gets beat 48-0 by Kansas State. Now they're at Kansas today. So back-to-back games on the road. Kansas leads Oklahoma State mid-third quarter, 31-7.
It's over with.
Now, if Kansas wins that game, they are officially bowl eligible.
Game over.
Jason Bean, the backup quarterback for Kansas, is having himself a day. He had a long touchdown run. He's got 150 yards through the air, 2 touchdowns, and a long run as well for a touchdown. So how about the Fighting Jayhawks? Michigan State, by the way, up 9-7. They are on the Illini 11-yard line, about to score again. Penn State up 24-7 on Indiana. Pittsburgh on top of Syracuse 17-6. Ohio State struggled with Northwestern today, BJ. 21-7. The Buckeyes were struggling. They scored a late touchdown to go up 21-7.
You know what the Buckeyes did? They couldn't throw the ball because it
was windy, very windy.
Yeah, but what did they do? They took what was given. The run was given. It was there. They went on the ground, and they destroyed them in the second half. So what was that?
Well, they destroyed them with yards. It was only 21-7. I know there's no such thing as a feel-good game when you lose.
Lost by 14 points, sir. That's 2 touchdowns.
Yep. Northwestern is not in here for feel-good stories, but they have they performed well today. They've lost 8 straight games. Their only win still remains against our beloved Nebraska Cornhuskers in Ireland. 0-8 on U.S. soil, 1-0 on foreign soil this year are the Northwestern Wildcats. Strange year.
Oh, what are we doing, man?
I don't know.
What is really going on? Are we in the real world, or is this the Matrix?
It's the bizarro world. TCU again remains undefeated. They beat Texas Tech today, 34-24. They're 9-0 on the season. We want to hear from you guys. 402-464-5685. Just under 40 minutes away from our ending here at Tanner's. There's still room for you. It is a packed house. People are watching some college football. There are more games on this evening as well. So come on by, hang out with us. All right. So, Rashawn, regarding Nebraska, and we talked during the break that you know it's next. Nebraska plays at Michigan next week.
Oh man, I'm not looking forward to it.
I want to do an exercise with you.
Okay.
I know you are a beloved former Husker. You bleed red for Nebraska.
I do.
But I want you to take your bias away for a second.
Okay.
If you were to guess the spread for next week, Nebraska at Michigan, likely an 11 a.m. kick, maybe 2:30. What are you guessing?
21.
I think higher.
You think 23?
I think maybe 20.
No.
24 to 27, something like that.
No, it's
it won't be in the 30s. I think 21 is too low. I'm guessing between 24 and 27 is the favorite.
Really?
Michigan. Yeah.
That's a lot.
Michigan was a 22-point favorite against Michigan State.
What were we dogs in this game? 17? 16?
16 today.
Yeah, but we only lost by 7, right?
We did lose by 7.
Okay, so then it doesn't work. I mean, I think it'll be 21-point dogs.
This is a road game in the big house for a team
23.5.
For a team that is not only good, they're on on a line for the playoff right now.
23.5 with a chance to win.
All right. See, if I said 24, you're going below 23.5. I think we're right. I think that is probably the right spot.
Sandman
it will not be in the 30s.
I agree, right? Sandman says, run the doggone ball.
Yep.
Right?
Yeah. Well, good luck running on Michigan. They're pretty good. Now, last year you played well against Michigan. That was a great football game here in Lincoln.
There's nobody that's that good.
Yeah, I mean, Michigan has showed some flaws this year. They've been pretty much exceptional most of the season, but they were tied at halftime with Indiana about a month ago. Now they pulled away and won by 21, but they looked human there.
Yeah.
They were, I think, either up or down at halftime barely to Penn State. Pulled away, won that game convincingly as well. So maybe it's a close game in the first half. I don't know.
Maybe Georgia. It's scary.
I don't want to play Georgia.
No, that's a scary team. Could you imagine Georgia with the point spread to be in that game?
Nope.
Yeah, I don't even think about that.
Can I imagine? I would guess that Georgia would be a 30-point favorite against Nebraska. People are filing in. It is a packed house, but there's some space for you still. Rashawn?
Yeah, well.
Get your friends down here.
Man,
Tanner's, 30th and Yankee Hill, the place to be.
You're making me nervous.
Why am I nervous?
No, you're not nervous. You're making me
nervous.
Why
am I making you nervous?
Because you got that tilt-leased hat on, and I'm wondering what's going on.
Titleist hat. It's a golf hat.
It's a tit-lease.
And I feel embarrassed. I looked at the weather.
Not a Titleist, it's a tit-lease.
I looked at the weather. It's 61 degrees outside. I got a stocking cap on.
I know.
You guys understand why? I showed you guys during the break why. because I have crazy hair going on. I don't have a ball cap in the van. I just have this cap. I can't go without it, or else I'll be stared at for the wrong reasons.
He's got his alfalfa here. I'm trying to get him to show us his alfalfa.
I showed you guys. I'm not showing the camera. I'm not showing people Tanner's.
It'll stand right up.
I'm not showing the people Tanner's alfalfa here. I'm not doing it.
What? Spaghetti noodles.
Luffy says
spaghetti noodle hair.
How about this? Luffy says Whipple should be fired tonight.
At least unplug his headset during the games. I'm simply saying.
That's not the point I called. You guys listening to me? Yeah, Whip, we got you, man.
We're not calling for Whipple job, I don't think. But boy, somebody got to give him a different menu, a play call menu, man. You gotta call the right plays in the right situation, man. And I thought at that first, I thought he was a superstar in the first quarter. I really did. And then we just tanked it. It just looked so familiar to me. You know what I mean? We played down to our competition, and we just didn't dominate a team that we should have dominated. You don't get up 10-0 on a team and then don't dominate them. We dominated them on both lines of scrimmage and in the first quarter, and we went away from it. So you can't try to tell me, the line is garbage. They're not that garbage. Because every time we make a decision to run, we are successful. Now, if you don't run the ball the entire game after you were successful, you start passing it. What just happened? The momentum switched. Now you're catching because you're passing the ball around the yard, and your offensive linemen are sitting back on their heels when they should be on their doggone toes firing off at the ball. I said it.
All right. So if you're Mickey and you're Mark Whipple and you're Bill Bush, you have 1 week to prepare for a top 4 ranked team in the country on the road in their buzzing environment.
Is it on national TV?
I don't know.
Probably.
But I kind of hope not.
Yeah, I don't want to get embarrassed.
What do you do? What do you do in practice this week?
You better figure out your run game. You better figure out your run game is what you better do. You better figure out an offensive coordinator that's going to throw some slants. Have you seen a slant?
No.
Have we seen one
and
slant?
Minnesota ran successful slants today. Illinois ran a slant for a touchdown on Isaiah Williams.
Am I the offensive coordinator? Am I making $820,000 on the radio, Jay?
I don't think slants are that hard of passes to complete or call. I mean, those get worse. Jailbreak screens, slants, that kind of stuff.
Double slants.
We saw the screen to Chancellor Brewington against Illinois was successful for 40-plus yards. Didn't see it again.
They haven't seen it again. You won't see it again. You saw a couple counter traps before. I've seen some counters that I thought worked super well, and we haven't seen him again. And you got to ask yourself why. I don't know why. Is he forgetting the plays? Is he forgetting to do what he's supposed to do? I don't know. All I know is if you make a decision to run the ball in the first quarter and then you're successful with it and you don't do it again until the last 2 drives of the game, you're not really trying to win a game. You're not.
I got some texts I want to read, but before that, I'm going to call for a station ID. You're listening to 937 The Ticket at theticketfm.com.
This is Lincoln's home for sports talk on the FM dial. Also online at theticketfm.com.
On the internet.
KNTK FM Firth, 93.7 The Ticket.
All right. From the text line, I'm not sure who this texter believes is talking right now between you and me. It says Jay, as in Jay Foreman. I'm going to guess maybe that's you as being short for J, VJ.
You know why?
Why is it?
Because I'm not really yelling. I'm kind of.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? So I kind of sound like Jay today when I just kind of lay back.
Well, okay, but this is VJ
nice.
for Sean. Okay,
yes, for
let's assume it says VJ.
This is for Sean.
VJ, has Nebraska ever reached out to you about being in the athletic department? Seems like you know what you're talking about and think you could be a good addition.
Nah, I'm good, man. In my own lane. I was there for a little bit with Bo. There's just too many egos for me. It's too political. I'm not with the politics in football. I think when you start mixing politics and football and people are controlling you with their narrative and not even a real narrative, I don't really have time for that, man. I'm 47 years old. I've got 3 beautiful granddaughters. You know what? Shout out to my granddaughter, Honey. She turns 5 today.
Wow.
Or 4 today.
Happy birthday.
She turns 4. I got little Hot Wheels Jackson in the oven. My daughter's pregnant with my first grandson. Hot Wheels Jackson.
Wheels.
Look for him. 18 years from now, look for him.
Hot Wheels Jackson.
Hot Wheels Jackson. So, I'm kind of good in my own lane. I like talking about, there go Georgia again.
Bowers
yeah, I like talking about football. I like coaching football, but I don't like what's going on. I don't like what's going on in high school football. It's down big time in Omaha. I mean, we've got the worst coaches that money can buy. in Omaha, Nebraska, and it's showing. And that's some of the reasons why we don't get a lot of recruits that are coming out of Omaha. The football, I mean, it's horrible coaching all the way around. College, horrible coaching all the way around. Not on all levels, not on all teams, but look at Nebraska. I haven't coached football in 10 years, but the obvious is the obvious. When the run is working, keep running the damn ball. How about that? They don't take a rocket scientist to figure that out. I don't have to be in a university. I've been trained under the best guys. I know which plays work, and if they work, they work. Run them.
Yeah, it always feels like to me when a team, this is not even Nebraska, any team in general that is having success in either running the football or passing the football, and they go away from to do something else. They're trying to outsmart the defense by staying ahead of them. What I would say,
are you really trying to outsmart the defense? How
about you do it until the defense stops you, and then just have a plan beyond that. Don't go into their web. Make them stop you, and then you can devise that.
If I'm getting 7 yards on 42 dive, do you know how many times I'm going to run it against your team, Jake?
All day.
All day.
All day.
I might have 10, 15, 42 dives. You're going to get sick of them if they're working. But if it's not working, I'm going to do something different, or I'm going to try something different, hoping for some different results, but you can't keep doing the exact same thing. We know what that definition means, man.
All right. We will take one final break here. We are live at Tanner's, 30th and Yankee Hill. Rashawn Jackson, Jake Sorensen's The Ticket Postgame Show, sponsored by Bauer Infrastructure, sponsored by Vinny Creekak and State Farm Insurance, sponsored by American Senior Benefits. We'll come back for one final segment.
Whoa.
What?
Before you go. Grant almost had 90 yards in the first quarter. Okay, I'm good. Go ahead. Sorry.
So that means he had, 25 the rest of the game after a great first quarter.
Oh, that's not good.
Oh, God. Kill me now.
I told you.
The
numbers don't lie, Jake.
They had 3 points the rest of the game after the first quarter also. Stats indicate that maybe you should run the football. That's just me. One last segment next on 9 through 7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
This show's pretty rockin', huh?
Yeah, I'm so glad my State Farm agent helped me go.
Huh?
My State Farm agent. They help me with options to personalize my auto insurance to get a great rate that fits my budget, so I don't have to give up the things I love.
Wow. Hey, so do you think I could get your State Farm agent's number?
Call your local State Farm agent, Vinny Creekak, at 402-474-1173.
Individual premiums and budgets will vary by customer. All applicants subject to State Farm underwriting requirements.
Lincoln's best place to meet, eat, and compete.
Bowling, check. Arcade, check. Laser tag, check. Mini golf, check. Sand volleyball, cornhole, bocce, food, drinks, check. The newly renovated Sun Valley Lanes and Games has something fun to offer for guests of all ages.
Win prizes in the arcade or challenge your friends in one of the many attractions.
Plan a night of fun by reserving your spot online at sunvalleylanes.com.
Sun Valley.
James Enterprise Incorporated, that company that hauls your gravel, rocks, and material for your farm or construction site, says, thank you to the people of the healthcare community for putting yourself in the way of danger to save the public. That is what it means to be a hero and to build a beautiful legacy. This message brought to you by James Enterprise Incorporated. For all your hauling of rock, gravel, and materials, call them at 402-432-6740. That's 402-432-6740.
Hey, it's Sean Callahan, and football season is here, and there is one place that has all the games, plus great food and beer specials. Tanner's Bar and Grill at 30th and Yankee Hill. Whether it's Thursday night football, college football Saturdays, NFL Sundays, or Monday night football, there's a great view of the game from any seat with different food and drink specials every night. Try the Blue Ribbon Reuben Sandwich or the Prime Rib French Dip or any of their famous chicken wings. That's Tanner's Bar and Grill at 30th and Yankee Hill.
People first is more than a nice sentiment. At American Senior Benefits, it's the mission. If you're ready for a career where you can truly put your customers' needs ahead of everything else, this is for you. American Senior Benefits is one of the leading senior market insurance product distributors in the country, and they're looking for high-energy applicants with strong communication skills. Enjoy on-the-job training, a fun work environment, and unlimited income potential. Visit asbmidwest.com to learn more. American Senior Benefits.
Your home should not be a zoo to unwelcomed animals. Let the experts at Bats to Rats take care of those problems. Dane has been a leader in wildlife and pest management and prevention in Lincoln and the surrounding area for 15 years. He can help you get rid of bats, rodents, and anything else. Whether it's residential or commercial buildings, schools, apartments, or churches, they're always a phone call away. Call today at 402-310-0904 or visit batsrats.com. Bats Rats Wildlife Control and Prevention.
Hey, who caught that ball? That field goal was good, right? Is the scoreboard fuzzy to anyone else?
Dude, you have got to get your eyes checked, man.
If you're noticing that the game is getting a little tougher to follow, it might be time for a checkup at Premier Vision. They have state-of-the-art equipment, a variety of frames, and great lens options. Visit Premier Vision today, just south of Van Dorn at 84th and Firethorn.
Vershawn Jackson for Brandt Excavating. Brandt's been in business for 29 years, and they specialize in a variety of things. If you're looking for someone to get the job done in precision demolition, excavating, trucking, mass grading, and site prep, Brandt is the place to call. To set up a quote or learn more, call Brandt Excavating at 402-474-4113 or go to BrandtExcavating.com. They're also hiring, so join the team today. Brandt Excavating, a part of the Bauer brand, who reminds you, go big Brand.
Hopcat exists at the intersection of great beer and delicious food, complemented by music, art, community, and comfort. Home to a best-in-class beer experience served by craft beer experts, guests can expect a casual, inviting local gathering place with some of the best damn burgers and fries you'll find in Lincoln. Hopcat is your pregame headquarters for basketball and volleyball all season long. Hopcat is located at 6th and P in the Haymarket. To plan your next trip to Hopcat, visit www.hopcat.com.
This message is for Karina, our mom who finished her high school diploma at age 28. Hi, Mom. It's Emmettith and Nicholas.
Congratulations on getting your diploma.
You worked so hard and have taught us so much. We love you.
When you graduate, they graduate. Finish your high school diploma for you and for them. Visit finishyourdiploma.org to find free and supportive adult education centers near you. Brought to you by the Dollar General Literacy Foundation and the Ad Council.
Now back to Tanner's Postgame Show. Brought to you by Bauer Infrastructure on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
All right, final segment of the Ticket Postgame Show live from Tanner's Bar and Grill, 30th and Yankee Hill in South Lincoln. Vershawn Jackson, Jake Sorensen. Appreciate all the texts today, 402-464-5685. Keep those coming. You can call also or watch and comment on Facebook, Twitch, YouTube, and Twitter.
Georgia is smashing Tennessee.
Was it a touchdown again? It was 24-6 last time I checked. They're like double them up in yards too. Well, listen, Tennessee.
Black shirt's sick right now.
27-6 Georgia leads right now.
Yeah, he went against his team. That's just crazy.
27-6. Why would he do that?
I don't know.
Hendon Hooker's not.
I think he thought that Tennessee was playing good, but I don't know what he was thinking, to be honest.
I think I speak for the nation, and I think we hoped for a more competitive game. I mean, when you have 1 versus number 3, you want to see one of those epic games. Like when we had Alabama LSU a couple years ago with Joe Burrow and Tua. I mean, awesome football game. That was epic. It wasn't even a conference championship game. That was a regular season game. That was epic. You were hoping for Hendon Hooker and Stetson Bennett to go back and forth, and you knew that Tennessee's defense had some flaws, but their offense is supposed to be high-powered. And so far, the Georgia defense said not so fast, my friend.
Yeah, Tennessee is who we thought they were.
Well, I think they're still pretty good. I mean, they're going. Oh boy, fumble! Oh no!
See, it's unraveling.
And Tennessee has just fumbled the football on their side of the field. It's late third quarter. Georgia is up by 21. Probably going to score again. Night, Volunteers. They will have their first loss.
Tennessee is who we thought they were.
I think they'll probably still have a good season. They're having a great season.
They'll probably drop down to 10.
They still beat Alabama this year. No, they should not be number 10.
What?
They have beaten Alabama this season. They're losing on the road to the a top 5 ranked team in the country. They're not dropping 9 spots. They're going to be probably at worst 5th or 6th.
No way. I guarantee they go to 10.
They should be ahead of Alabama. They beat them. They both have 1 loss.
They won't be. Did they blow Alabama out?
No, but they played them and beat them.
They didn't blow them out.
They're both going to have 1 loss, and they're
getting blown out. The doors are blown off.
Right.
The hood's off. The trunk's off.
Who should be ranked higher, text line? If Tennessee loses this game, should they be
Alabama
above or below Alabama? They'll both have one loss. They have the same record, and Alabama lost to Tennessee.
Yeah, but
face to face,
27-6.
Well, Georgia's really good,
and it could get worse.
Georgia's really good.
Probably
Tennessee's
will
had
get
some
worse
nice wins.
before it gets better.
We'll see. Georgia's on the 37-yard line trying to go. It's already got a knockout punch, but deliver almost the complete knockout.
Oh, he
punch.
fumbled it right back.
Tennessee got it back.
Gave it right back.
Tennessee gets the ball back.
Wow.
Don't give up on Hendon Hooker yet.
Wow.
My boys.
Okay, I don't know. I mean, what did you think? It just, the game was just a weird play game.
It's a boring game. Today's football game was incredibly boring. The first half was a snooze fest. I mean, Nebraska was up 10-zip, but it was a snooze fest. It was very boring. I could see why some people might have fell asleep and took a nap by halftime.
I'm just, at the end of the day, the boring, I could have dealt with the boring if I knew we were going to continue to run the ball the way we did in the first quarter. I could have dealt with that. But I can't accept anymore that I know that we should be running the ball and we don't run the ball, and I'm not going to say nothing. It's like coach supposed to be at a meeting and then we don't say nothing and we know. But we don't say anything. Well, you're complicit. So we should be running the ball. You got Grant. He should be getting the ball, touching the ball 30 times a game. By himself. 30.
I hate to be that guy that is fast forwarding to next year because I have no idea who the coach is next season. But I'm thinking about this, VJ. Today, Minnesota was not an overly impressive team, right? They were fine. They're an average team. Nebraska gave them the game. They didn't do anything to take it away. It was a game. It was a team that was fine, but nothing overly impressive. Okay. That's game one next year on the road in Minneapolis on a Thursday. Okay. I'm watching game two's opponent, Colorado, who's 1-7, by the way.
Oh boy.
Getting sandblasted at home.
Right.
By Oregon, 42-10.
Okay.
They're gonna be 1-8. They're gonna have a new coach next year too.
Yeah. Well,
Whoever
if you don't hire Mickey, it could be Mickey.
Right. Well, I know.
I'm just saying.
I know.
It's there.
I'm saying.
And you know what he gets to do at Colorado? You know what he gets to do at Colorado if he gets hired at Colorado?
What?
Hire whoever he wants.
Yep.
The guys that are going to be in the room are guys he's going to trust because they're all his guys, you know. And if I want to be your guy, and I say that I'm rolling with you, I'm gonna do everything in my power to do what's right for the football team when you're not looking. When you're not looking, not when you're looking. Most people, you know, the people with integrity, they do what's right when people are not looking. That's what that means. Look it up.
Okay. I'll do that.
Like, take the hat off, Jake.
No, I'm not taking the hat off. The hat stays.
Why can't we just see your alpha and get a good? We need a laugh.
Because
the people need a laugh.
I just want you guys to close your eyes and envision Jake Sorensen with alfalfa hair, and that's what you're going to get if I take the hat off.
That's what I'm saying. Do it.
No, they can just envision it. They don't have to see it. They envision it. It's just as good. It's just as good. 464-5685. Call or text as always. From the
you better get some of them text lines. See what they talk about.
Texter says Mickey needs to be the head coach, get good coordinators, and it will take off.
Absolutely.
Well, if he's hired, he's going to be able to hire his own guys.
I know, but
there's no way that if Mickey is hired, he's going to be forced to keep Mark Whipple. No chance.
I agree with
Interim
that.
tags off. You get a name. You get to name your coaches.
I know, but guys, it's the kids that I worry about, right? If the kids know that we should be running the ball, don't you think that the adults know, right? And I get it. The football game didn't call for us to throw the ball. It called for us to have ball control, possess the ball, and run time off the clock. Score the ball. You just had to be a good game manager, man. You didn't have to. We didn't ask Purdy to go out and throw for 300 yards. You ask him to be a good game manager because he's young. You don't put a young guy in with a bunch of old bulls and tell him, hey, just do whatever you want. Make the plays you want. No, you tell him exactly what, hey, throw that right hand, bro. Throw the right hand. Keep throwing the right hand. Jab, jab, right. 1-2-1. You know, whatever works, you're supposed to tell your player, and then you expect for him to do what you ask him to do. And when it works, he has more respect for you.
I think one thing we have not really mentioned today, Vershawn, even though Nebraska loses the game, I thought the defense played pretty well today.
They did.
Right? I mean,
they played well the last 3
games. Shut out at
games.
halftime. They had 3 sacks in the first half of Tanner Morgan.
Yes. Think about that.
I mean, again, there was 20 straight points in the second half. Nebraska's offense did nothing to help out there. Then they had a couple of sustained drives, but you can't just ask the defense to just keep shutting down the whole thing, whole game.
Now you
have a really good running back.
It's all three facets. Okay, and we didn't do enough offensively to help our defense, to help our calls. Like I said, when we got up 10-0, all we had to do was keep scoring. That's it.
Field goals, chip away, field goal, something.
That's it.
I'm not asking for touchdowns every drive. How about getting field goal range?
Take what they give you.
And again, like you mentioned, so I go back. We mentioned this earlier on the show, but go back to the drive. Nebraska gets the ball at Minnesota's 48. First play is a false start. You're back in your own territory. If they simply go forward, if they get one first down, you're downwind. Bleak Road kicks a long field goal. You're up 13-zip. Again, that changes a lot of things.
Man,
there's just certain plays and series that this team just cannot afford to have. They have very little room for error, and they just make that error.
Right, every time. And I don't think it's I think it's the play caller in this situation, just not playing, making the calls that we need to be made. You needed to run the ball. You needed to find a way to have a run game, even if you just chipped away at the clock. You want to have a run game, and then all of your pass opens up off of that. I don't know why we think we can pass to run. You can't. You got to run the pass. That's how that works.
Yep.
When you pass the run, that's when you've got a great quarterback,
right?
3 or 4 great receivers, and a great running back.
Ohio State.
And probably a couple of great tight ends too.
Ohio State.
There you go.
Josh from Dorchester says, I hope Mickey brings back the option in Power I. Christmas is coming soon. Maybe Santa can help out.
I hope so. I think
Wouldn't that be fun?
Fullback.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
I'd love to have a fullback.
Did LSU have a fullback?
Yes.
I think they did.
Absolutely, they got a fullback. Does Alabama have a fullback? Absolutely. Most of the teams that we're doing talk about, probably with the exception of Georgia, and I don't know if they do or not, have a fullback. I don't know. Georgia might even have a fullback.
I haven't been watching if they have an I formation very close. I think they do.
I don't know. I just know it's just kind of a surreal feeling right now.
Surreal, yeah, that's one way to
only because it's like I have not been around football where it seems like we're the best team, and then the tide changes like that. That's a little, you know what I mean? I haven't been around that type of football until Nebraska in the last 5 years.
Yep. We got about 5 more minutes. I want to go through some things that happened today in the Big Ten. I mentioned some scores. Here's a quick update. Michigan State, who was a 16-point underdog going into Champaign, now leads 23-15, up by 8.
How much time?
13-38 to go in the fourth.
Too much time.
Michigan State up by 8. It is their ball at midfield. Penn State's up 31-7 at Indiana, about to score again, second and goal, late third quarter in the one, so it's going to be a touchdown or field goal there. Ohio State beats Northwestern 21-7. Iowa goes on the road to Purdue, who has given them problems for years under Jeff Brom, and just kills them 24-3. Defense dominant. Petras actually was pretty good today. Petras, the quarterback, he actually played well today.
They played into Iowa's strength is their defensive backfield. So Purdue throws the ball all over the yard. You're playing against probably one of the best defensive backfields in the entire league. You're probably going to lose the game.
Got to feel good for Iowa because Charlie Jones, the Iowa transfer, has been killing it at Purdue. He had a good game today, but nice for them to say, we got you.
You know what scares me?
He had 11 catches for 108 yards.
We got to play Wisconsin at their best. We got to play Iowa at their best, and we got to play Michigan State at their best, or Michigan at their best.
These teams
scary.
Yeah, these teams are all kind of figuring it out. Wisconsin today beats Maryland in just an ugly weather game, horribly cold and rainy and windy. 23-10. Wisconsin beats Maryland, so nice win there. Badgers now 5-4, 1 win away from bowl eligibility.
Hey, by the way, I won at Keno.
You did? That boy. Iowa is now 5-4, 1 win away, and so is Purdue at 5-4. So Nebraska's going the wrong direction. Those teams are figuring it out as they typically do in November.
Could you imagine us winning out?
No, it ain't gonna happen. I mean, a bowl game's out. I mean, right now a bowl game's out the window. I mean, you're not beating Michigan. There's no scenario you beat Michigan. None. Like if you wanted to believe that, hey, Wisconsin, Iowa were meaningful, we're gonna.
I think we
have some drama. The only drama is Mickey going to be the head coach?
I think we can bang with them, though.
You can bang with them, but you know what? Those teams know how to win. This team doesn't.
Well, you got to run the ball. That's how you figure out how to win.
Caleb Tanner said, Minnesota wanted this game more than we did today.
Wow.
That's just disgusting to me.
Wow. At this point. But again, and listen, Caleb played expired football. I'm telling you. I was so happy to see him just rushing the quarterback today that it made me there's a reason that when you got O'Shawn, all three of those guys in the game, did you see them all in the game at once?
I did.
It gave us a different dimension.
Yep.
What?
It did. One more quote, and then we'll get out of here. This is another one from, and I'm not trying to attack Caleb Tanner. I'm not. But I'm just reading these quotes as they come by.
Okay. Do it.
Alfalfa. Caleb Tanner apparently says, quote, "We got too comfortable. We got to come in the second half harder than we did in the first half. That's what we're supposed to do. That's our job." That was the first half execution. They got comfortable. How can this team ever be comfortable when they haven't been to a bowl game since 2016?
That's why they're comfortable. They've never been to a bowl game since 2016. So nobody on
What
that
is
football.
their expectation?
There's no players on the team that knows how to win.
What's the expectation for the team? What do they expect to do every game?
It's got to be sold by the head coach. And your head coach have to have full control. Everybody in the state needs to know the head coach got full control over the team. Period. Autonomy. Who was when Scott was the head coach? Did we ask ourselves who's the coordinators? No, we didn't. We knew who they were. So why are we questioning what we're questioning right now? I think the biggest thing is you got to play Michigan in the big house, 100K strong. Yeah. Let me say it one more time. Michigan in the big house, 100K strong. Two things can happen. Actually, three, but it's probably going to be another two. You can either play a great game and lose. You can happen to win, big long shot. You shake up the world, or you get blown out of the water and you get embarrassed on national TV.
If you want an idea of what the spread might be, Michigan, Nebraska. So there's one more game tonight in the Big Ten. It is Michigan at Rutgers. Oof. That game, the Wolverines on the road for Sean. This is per Vegas, are 26-point favorites on the road.
We're better than Rutgers.
Okay, but it's on the road. They're at home against Nebraska.
We're better than Rutgers.
I think you said 23.5. I'm guessing I'm going all the way to 25 now.
Really?
25 is my guess.
I'll stay 20.
Nebraska, 25-point underdog.
Have we ever been that big of a dog? What's the biggest dog we've been?
That's a good question. I don't know. If textures, if you know that, if you can help us out, what is the biggest underdog Nebraska has ever been in a college football game? 4-6-4, 5-6, 8-5. I don't know.
I'm just wondering.
But hang on. For those who are like, okay, shut up, Jake. You're so negative. Ohio State was like a 36-point favorite today at Evanston, Northwestern. They won by 14.
That's what I'm saying.
It was a competitive game. Weird things happen in college football. If the weather's dicey, you never know.
You never know if it's dicey. You're exactly right.
Usually that goes
I thought it was going to be dicey today.
No. Usually dicey weather goes in favor of the team that has a better offensive line and running game, which is definitely Michigan. So that's not exactly a good thing for the Huskers, who like to rely on the deep ball for their offense.
Well,
but weird things do
if Casey plays, I think we got an opportunity. I think if you got to go with a backup, you got to get Logan Smothers ready to go because he's got the best chance to win.
If it's not Casey, I mean, it has to be Logan next week. If it's not Casey Thompson, that will do it for us. For Sean Jackson, Jake Sorensen, it's been fun at Tanner's 30th Yankee Hill for the Ticket postgame show. We will talk to you guys on Monday. My show 6 to 8, your show 10 to noon with Terrell Farley and Bach. Cha-cha-cha. All right, Huskers lose 20-13, 3-6 on the season at Michigan. Next week we will still have a pregame show, and we will be back here again for postgame show next week. Have a great evening. We will talk to you on Monday. Good night.